Hi guys, it's Nancy here, and I am back with one of my final pieces for my American album before I can do the share. And this is the title pages. I always leave this to the end because, I don't know, it just for me it kind of finishes off the album. I had a few bits of paper that I picked out here that I wanted to use. These are all older bits from my stash. This is a piece from October Afternoon, which I actually brought before I went on my trip in 2012. So I'm planning on using some of that. I also have some of the simple stories I brought in 2012. Well, actually no, it was 2011 before we went, because we went in January 2012. So I pulled out these bits from my stash to make some title pages. These are going to be pretty simple. I've got a few elements that I want to keep consistent. I have the Chamel die, which is the black, which I cut out of black cardstock, and that is just the globe. I also have a large circle that I want to use, which again I'm just going to just use that from my cardstock, and I'm going to be using the Chamel banner as well. And I want to make these sort of consistent across the three different pages, but I am going to, change the cardstock and stuff up as well. So this is just me working on my first cluster, and I've pulled out, I've cut that kind of banner piece of paper apart, which I said was October Afternoon. And I'm going to kind of make a cluster at the top and the bottom. And so this is pretty simple, layering. I want to make sure I use the globe. I want to use one of the wood veneers from the Ready Set Go Amy Tan Project Life. And I also want to use one of the cameras cut from the Amy Tan Project Life. And then that is going to kind of be my consistency across all of the layouts that I'm going to do. So it's going to be a really, really simple, quick process. I don't want to make them overly complicated because I don't want to add any more bulk to my really chunky albums already. But as I said, I'm just going to kind of keep those elements consistent. Again, when I show you the flick through, you'll see that I've used globes, you'll see that I've used cameras and planes throughout the album. So I do want to kind of include them on my title page. And I love that Chamel globe die. I'm definitely going to be using that in my 2015 American album, because I just love it. It's just the perfect size. It's fab. So I did just ink all the edges and everything, so just to make them stand out. I'm just going to pull a couple of other little bits out here. These are from I believe they're from Create Paper Craft Market, and I'm just going to build a little cluster here at the top. And again, I'm just using an offcut of that. It's kind of got destinations on it. Again, that was from the October Afternoon piece. And again, there's a little banner piece. And then just a little arrow. Again, just making really quick clusters. As I said, the three title pages took me about 40 minutes to make. But again, they're really simple. Didn't want to include photos or anything on them. Just wanted to make them really quick and simple. And I absolutely loved the wood veneer that came in the Ready Set Go Project Life kit. And as I said, I used that Project Life kit to just fill in all the gaps kind of within my album, which I'm hoping I will be able to show you in probably kind of next week, because I have filmed my flip throughs now. And so you've seen the last two kind of, is it two or three layouts that I kind of had to make just to fill in a couple of stories, and then this, so I'm hoping I'll get the shares up next week. So you can see I just again echoed that circle, and again I just put a plane on there as well. I'm going to just look at adding some enamel dots as well, just because I found them on my desk, no other reason really. So that one. I added the title, which is USA Book 2, because this is going to go in the second book, obviously. Again, just cut a little bit out here because this is going to be the one for the first book. And my first layouts that I made were using the Simple Stories travel collection. I can't remember what it was called, but it was I think it was one of either the first or the second actual collection that they brought out. And I brought up every single bit and kind of used very, very little of it. So I decided I'd hung on to this piece of paper, kind of in mind of using it for a background or some kind of title page. This piece that was cut, this black piece from the October Afternoon, has the Westcote route on. So I am just playing around with my placement here, because I wanted to make sure I didn't cover up the places we went to. Of course we didn't go to all of those places, but I thought that made actually quite a good little kind of, you know, nod to actually where we were. And again, there's a really big sort of woodcut printed wood piece here that I want to try and fit in. This is a larger wood veneer piece, so it's going to take up quite a bit of room on this page, but that's okay. And again, I'm just going to pull a cluster up there to the top and bring in one of those arrows, again just to bring some consistency across the title pages of those 3 albums. I also found that geotag piece as well, which works perfectly with, you know, travelling and stuff. Again, I just really went through like lots of different bits and pieces that I had on my desk. Again, put a little plain wood veneer on there as well. And as I said, I'm kind of glad I used that paper up, because it shows I kind of, you know, the first few sort of pages in that first album kind of did use that, so it kind of works well because it ties it all in together. So now just going through my stash and picking out an alpha to use, and this is one I've used quite a lot, and again I'm just using the same title on all of them, which is USA Book either 1, 2 or 3. And I am going to be putting USA 1, 2 or 3 on the outside, but I just thought it, you know, it was just nice to add, because I don't really like it when you open an album and it's like straight into a layout, because it's like, whoa, what's going on, what? Where at least this kind of, you know, just breaks it, gives you, you know, gives you kind of a moment to kind of think what's going to be in the album. Well, that's kind of how I think about it anyway. As I say, I just don't like it, especially when I've done like more than one album. I think if it's one story, you know, or one event in an album, then, you know, that's fine. But because this, you know, this trip went over 3 albums, I just wanted to make sure that, you know, there was a break. The way I've set my albums up, I have tried to kind of keep all, you know, it not only chronologically how the holiday went, but also, you know, how it just kind of made sense with the way the photos flowed. So having these sort of title pages in is just going to cause, you know, that kind of just little break, and you're going to kind of go, okay, we're now on this album. I did contemplate putting on these sort of the places that are going to be included within this album, but I kind of thought, no, I don't know. I've left the back of these free, you know, just plain, just the background of that, actually the background paper. So I could put another piece of 12 by 12 in there and write on what's in the album, but I don't know. So now just going on to this one, which is the third and final of my title pages, and I absolutely love this piece of paper. It's from Fancy Pants. I got it in a kit and I just kept hold of it because I absolutely love the matte print on it. I always had in mind that I wanted to use it for a title page somehow, because I just think covering this up with a photo would just be such a shame. So I knew I wanted to use it for a title page, and I nearly didn't. I was like gonna keep it, and I was just like, no, get it out, get it used in here. I didn't really use any of this other collection within the album, but as I said, I love this paper so much. So again, I've gone with the same pieces, which is a black die cut Chamel globe, and one of a circle, which I think is cut from a really old piece of Studio Calico paper. And then I've just used one of the Project Life cards, again from the Ready Set Go Amy Tangerine kit, and I've just used that. And I'm now going to just be placing here. Some of these bits are from the Journey collection from crepe paper. I've just used a few of the embellishments from that, and I'm going to use some of the stickers, you know, from that last time. And this is just going to help tie everything in together. And again, there's a little bit of gold on this one as well, on that top arrow. I just have to dig through my stash here because I'd run out of planes that I wanted, and again, I wanted to keep that consistency across the 3 title pages. I said I just I love that map in a print. I've got so much American map stuff, like stamps and different things and cut files. I really, really need to make sure that I'm using it. So I pulled out this alpha, which is actually an old, it's like a corrugated card, and it's from Pebbles, I believe. I think I got it in Studio Calico Kit a long time ago. And I'm just going to be using that again to just layer my title here on the bottom, because I didn't want to cover up too much of that map print. So just going to be trying to work that there on the bottom. I didn't have a 3 because there was no numbers on this alpha, so I am actually just going to be taking a B and cutting it down to make a 3. So it's USA Book 3. I really like the craft. Again, I've used that kind of craft piece from that circle. So it's going to kind of pick up. Doesn't look like it stands out too much on camera, but it does stand out okay in the flesh. So I'm just going to cut down that B to make a 3. You can kind of tell that maybe that it's a cut down B, but I'm fine with that. And it's just going to, add that consistency, because on all the other pages I'd used the same alpha, so I didn't want to then find another alpha to do that, the number in. So I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I'm happy that I now have the final pieces of my album done. I am now ready to slip them in and call it done. I'm really, really excited to have these albums finished, and I'm really excited to share them with you so I can then go on and do the next one. So here is a close-up of each of those pages, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Bye!